Everybody, this is Jessica. Welcome back to my channels, Good Vibes Tarot by Jessica. Today we're gonna look into the honest, blunt truth about your ex and their thoughts and feelings for you. And then we're gonna look at then, when you were together, and now. So we're going to look into those feelings, and then I'm going to jump into a whole bunch of message cards. And we're going to do some loving messages from their higher self, some messages some text messages they would send you right now if they could. And then I'm going to delve into some shadow messages. Those could be triggering, so I will warn you before I get to those messages. That way, if you're feeling sensitive today, if you want to step away and not listen to those, what they're dealing with is some of their internal struggles and demons that they're going with. So they can be triggering. The benefit of this, finding out about this, is to know what they're going through. You know, we all are go through good and bad things, and we struggle with, you know, internal shadows that we have to deal with and overcome. So by knowing this, it is one step closer to the process to be able to heal these. So if you're wanting to know those truths and what they're going through, you can watch them, but I will warn you just in case you're feeling sensitive and you don't. So what you do here, this is going to be a pick a card reading, and I'm going to have two piles to choose from. Pile one is going to be this potion bottle. I randomly just chose from a bag of stickers. And then pile two is this potion bottle. So you go within, meditate a little bit, take a time, whatever your process is, and feel which pile you're being drawn to. And then I'll have the timestamps down below. I'm cut into chapters that you can just click and then jump to them to hear your message. If it resonates with you, great. If you don't feel like it resonates with you, and it may not, you can come back and choose the other pile to see if you do. If nothing resonates with you, maybe your messages wasn't here today. You may resonate with partial of it, and other partials are for somebody else. This is a mass collective reading, so take with you what resonates, what makes sense to you. Don't try to make it work towards you. If you're hearing this and it's confirming your own intuitions and what you thought was going on, then these are going to be the messages that are for you. So right now I have pile one and pile two, and I will see you shortly at your pile. Hey, pile one, welcome to your pile. For those of you that identified with this potion bottle sticker, welcome to your reading. So what I'm going to do is first lay out, I pre-shuffled, so then I'm going to lay out the cards of how they felt about you when you guys are in your connection, how they're feeling about you currently, separated. And then I'm going to draw a few quick cards, say what's the possible outcome of the future. And then we're going to jump into the messages that they have for you. I'm going to use several different decks to bring forth several different messages. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting a couple things ready here. Realize one of my message decks were not ready to go, so I want to get that ready to go for you. All right, how they felt about you when you guys were in the relationship. I got the Queen of Coins, here, the Queen of Swords, I got Hearth, Home, the Fool, Three of Wands, the Scuba Diver, Scorpio, Cupid's Arrow. All right. So right off the bat, the energies that I'm getting on the table, this could be either you or your person having your chart astrology-wise air and earth, air being Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, earth, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, and then I'm also getting Scorpio here. We drew a Scorpio card for that energy, and this could be your sun signs or other major signs and placements. So how they're feeling about you when you guys were together, they really they saw you as their queen. You had so many qualities they loved. The qualities that they saw inside of you, or that you were just a grounded, detailed, caring, really classy lady, like a really classy or man, but you were just very classy. Sorry, we don't do energy. Male or female, take it as it resonates. But you're just this very classy person, and you're very business savvy and smart, and organized and a grounded person. But they also saw you as somebody that's very intellectual, somebody very quick-witted, and you're very sharp, quirky, a very real person, direct in your speaking. You're very grounded, but you're a very intelligent person. When they got with you, you just kind of like struck them with this like Cupid arrow, this right here. In this relationship, they just like fell in love with you so hard. It was like the cartoons that come out and that Cupid comes up and just strikes you both. And you guys were in that bliss and that happiness. And it was so intense. There's so like an intimate primal lusty, and I'm not going to get into that too much because it's not an 18 plus reading, but there was a lot of intense passion in your connection that drew you guys together. And they really, really saw you as somebody that they wanted to make a life with, somebody they wanted to, to get deeper and go further in the connection, because you brought them so much fulfillment. And they were so content. They just wanted they built a family, and they loved you, and you made them feel secure, and they were so happy. So happy. They saw this as something that was a new beginning coming in, and there was so much opportunity, and they were ready to just jump in and be spontaneous with you, and without even putting much thought into it, just to jump into this relationship. So they were just sure, like right away, you were the one, you were their person. You really made them get deep too. They did some soul searching. Your connection kind of inspired them to do some soul connection, some soul searching, just to become a better person. They wanted to become a better person. They wanted their dreams and goals was something big. They wanted to progress, and they wanted it to get more. And a lot of love coming through, and they really thought the world of you. Okay, let's go ahead and get into how they are feeling now. Sorry. Picking all these up to get them in the right order here, in the right pile for cards. All right, how they're feeling now. Got the Ten of Cups reversed. The Eight of Cups reversed. Thunderstorms. Six of Coins. The Star. An Urn. And a Coffin. We're seeing a lot of here. There's a lot of, I'm surprised that the Death card didn't come up too with the tarot, because in the Oracle cards, we got the Urn and the Coffin. And that's really showing how they're feeling about you and the connection right now as it's over. It was loss, death, a lot of grief in this breakup. They're feeling very grief-stricken. But they feel like it's a firm death, like it's over. It's been dismantled and removed. like a final over is how they're feeling. And that's not saying that it is, but they're just caught in that type of despair. I see a lot of despair of it being over. Something really came in and just shook it up. There was, it just kind of went out, the energy shifted and it became conflict. There's a lot of, something happened to cause a lot of storms and conflict, and which resulted it to being over. So how they're feeling right now, they feel like they felt like they were a little undervalued in the connection. Or they didn't get the value they deserve, and it's not necessarily saying that you didn't value them. They just got to feeling that way, and then there started to be some kind of misalignment and an imbalance happen in your connection because of that. There was some feelings that got hurt, and it caused this imbalance, and it made them feel broken. But I see them being dishonest with themselves and dishonest towards other people. So there may be some dishonesty at play here, that they were dishonest with you, or they were being dishonest with themselves about what really happened. They were telling themselves another reason. I'm sorry about that. My puppy's having a little nightmare over there. And I think that's almost a little sign too. She doesn't usually have that big of nightmares. She's had a couple whimpers, but I feel like this is the state that this person is, that they're having nightmares, and they're losing sleep, and they're not really in a good place right now. They're not happy about this. They just feel hopeless and like negative, and just like the sense of despair and hopelessness. Yeah. Something happened here, and they're really hurt, but they're not owning up to it, and they're not talking about the hurt on their side, because they're not really being honest with themselves about what, they're not being honest with themselves about what ended this connection, or their role, or their part in it. You know, it takes two to tango. It takes two to make it good. It takes two to make things go right, but it also takes two when a breakdown happens. So there's something about them that they're not really owning up their part in the disillusion. Like, they are blaming their feelings, is they're pointing the finger and blaming you that it's over. But they're not really truly going within. So I'm going to go ahead from here, and I'm going to pull some oracle messages. Sorry, I realize I put my oracle decks way out of my reach over here, and I'm knocking over the camera. So we're not going to do the shadow ones until the end. That way I can let you know in case you're feeling sensitive. But first I want to get into, and we still are doing another round of tarot about where it's headed, but I wanted to give these messages to you first, what kind of messages they want to send you. So right here. These are going to be loving messages from their higher self. You deserve much more than what I could give you at the time. So they're acknowledging here from their higher self. Their higher self is acknowledging that they did play a role in it. They did play a part in it. I wish you could understand that this was a difficult decision for me. In fact, I still struggle with it. Now this may be for some people, maybe not everybody in this reading. Take it as it resonates. Sorry that I did not see your value and worth when we were together. Do one more of these. There is no good reason for the way I acted. I wish I could apologize. I feel like, there we go. I'm doing a little high. I got a new camera set up here, so it's a little hard for me to see. I wasn't realizing how close I was holding them to there. So their higher self is acknowledging their part and their role. It's just their, you know, their ego self. So I'm going to do some text messages from my text message set deck that I got on Etsy. This is what they would text you if they could. Not if they could, but if they, the things that they're wanting to text you, things they're wanting to say. I'll draw 4 of these messages. Our chemistry is primal, or was primal. And, you know, we did see that, what they were feeling at the beginning. There was that passion. We always find our way back together. I'm done with work. Can you meet up? I think they're wanting to get in touch with you. Yeah, it's looking like they're wanting to reach out to you. They just got to get through some of this ego stuff over here about not wanting to own up to their role in it and casting the blame. I still feel you with me. Yeah, they're not over you. They're not getting over you. They're not wanting this to be over. They are very heartbroken. I'll do a couple more messages here from another deck. And then we are going to get into what is the most likely possible outcome for the future, given the current energy you guys are in. I am becoming a better person. I want you. You and I were too young. Yeah, some of that ego energy they're into, that working through, is a little bit younger, not owning up to their roles. I wish I could share my good news with you. And they got some good news they want to share with you. And I think it has to do, like, what I'm getting, what I'm feeling. So I shouldn't say think. What I'm getting, the good news is their growth. They're going through this growth. They're not all the way through that growth yet, but they're going through it. So what I'm getting is when they do, they want to rush in and tell you, oh my God, I've grown so much. But let's go ahead and look into this future energy, just so I can get some more clarification on that. But that's kind of what I'm seeing right now, without looking at those cards. Okay. So we got Judgment, Seven of Cups, Summer Solstice, the Moon, Eyeglasses, Mask. So what I'm getting right now is they're not telling you their true feelings. They're hiding, pretending, and not showing you that they're hurt or heartbreaking. They're not giving that away. They're holding on to that. But I see soon, and I'm getting summertime here, but I'm also getting a few weeks. So a few weeks is not necessarily summertime. But something may happen in a few weeks, but that I see in the summertime, be it this summer, next summer, something bigger will happen. But what I see right now, okay, that's what I got. Spirit clarified that. In the next few weeks, they're going to start evaluating things, analyzing things, examining, trying to look into what happened with your connection and the breakdown, and starting to come to terms with some of their roles in that and why it happened and what can be done going forward to fixing that. That's going to happen in a few weeks, but it's going to take a process. So either this summer or next summer. I'm not getting that entirely. Could be either. They are going to get through this fear and anxiety and kind of unveil through this analyzation process. And it's going to be like the truth of the connection is going to be unveiled for them. So they're going to release this fear and anxiety, release this limiting beliefs, open themselves up, and they're going to want to take action, decisive actions, and come towards you. And they're going to come in there because it's like an awakening for them. And they want this action to happen, and they want a renewal. They want you to forgive them. They are going to come to terms, like I said earlier, I got something that there was some fault, that something with them that happened, but they weren't looking at their feelings. They weren't acknowledging their fault in it. But I see that they're going to come and want this forgiveness. Yeah, so they're going to come and want this forgiveness. So I do see them working their way back to you. If you want to forgive them and continue with this relationship or renew that will be an option. But I am going to see them wanting to do that, wanting to come back in. Doesn't mean that you have to. It just means that if you want to, this is going to be an option coming up here in either this summer or next summer. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and draw some of these shadow messages. And this is where I told you if you're feeling sensitive today, you can go ahead and just click out the video. But if you want to know, because they're triggering messages, they can be very triggering messages. They're having to deal with their inner demons and things that they're working through right now. So if you do want that blunt, honest truth and you're ready to hear that, stay with me. Either way, if you felt this resonated, go ahead, like, comment, share, all that good stuff down below. Subscribe to my channel. I keep trying to get out videos as often as I can, usually about once a week. Sorry about that. There's a background noise. Somebody that's my roommate. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I do get videos out once a week. So please, if you want to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, the bell button down below. Then I'm going to go ahead and shuffle and deal out these hidden fear shadow messages that they have. I am watching and stalking you because I am curious and I cannot let you go. Yeah, they want to come in. I want you to chase me. It gives me the power of this connection. And that's, makes sense because they weren't wanting to kind of admit they're wrong there. So they kind of want you to come after them. But I do see them getting through their stuff and them coming towards you. But they're in that energy now. They want you. I saw this coming, but I did not want to face the truth. There again, there's something that they're not owning up to. I want you to be available, even if I am not. I cannot give you what you want or deserve. I'm sorry. I have some financial matters I need to focus on before I can focus on this connection. I am afraid that you would reject me if I share my feelings for you. And that's their fear right now. That's a fear that they're going through right now. All right. Well, that will bring us to the end of this reading. If you resonated, let me know. Tell me what you think. Also, if you have any ideas of what kind of readings you'd like to see, go ahead and drop me a comment. Love and light to you. Hey, Pile 2. Welcome to your pile. This is for those of you that resonated with pile 2 and this sticker. Welcome to your reading. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to I pre-shuffle all the cards, so I'm going to lay down the cards for how they felt when you guys were together. Then we're going to lay down some more cards and see how they're feeling right now. Then we're going to lay down some more and how they're feeling or what's going to happen in the future. Then I'm also going to get into some messages that they have for you. Higher self, positive, loving messages, text messages they send you if they could right now. And then I will let you know before we get into those internal shadow messages. Now, the internal shadow messages, if you're feeling sensitive, you may not want to listen to them. They could be triggering. But if you want that blunt, honest truth, just to find out what they're going through. We all go through things, internal demons, internal shadows to work through. The positive about knowing it is once you know it, you know how to heal it, or you'll begin to see how to heal it and you'll understand a little bit more. So I want to let you know ahead of time, and then you can make your own choice if you want to hear those or not. But right now, for the feelings that they had when you guys were first together, Seven of Coins, Six of Coins, Flag, Ace of Cups, Ten of Cups, Constellations, Scorpio, Capricorn, and wedding rings. So the energy that I have on the table, which is could be your sign, their sign, sun, other major placements. I've gotten the Capricorn, Scorpio, but I'm also getting air, which is Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. So what I'm getting, that you guys, this could have been a marriage that you guys separated from, a fiance that didn't follow through into that marriage, or something that was on their mind that they thought that this was going to end in a marriage, that you thought that was, or they thought it was, or something that was going down that marriage track. And when they first got with you, there was this whole new beginning, romantic feelings. There was a lot of feelings in this reading, a lot of feelings. I got the Ace of Cups here and the Ten of Cups. And that's the beginning and the end. So it makes me think that maybe at least a majority of you may have been married to this person. But when I first met you, it was like this new romance, joy. This is the one. This is the person. You're crazy about them. They're crazy about you type of relationship. Just like this overflowing of the cup of love. And it was really blissful. And they felt really emotionally fulfilled. And it was like peaceful, divine love, such harmony, like the kind that you have like in a storybook, like, you know, a happily ever after type of love that they had for you. And they really wanted to harvest it and ripen, and long term. Their thoughts of you were very long term, and they felt that you're very generous and balanced. And there was a nice equal give and take between the two of you. You guys worked well together. So they're very happy about that. They felt like this victory and success, like you were kind of conquest. They were just surprised that they won you, won this love. So it was like this bragging rights that you were their person. And I think that you guys met when you were socializing, or you socialize a lot together. That was part of your connection, that you were this good social power couple. But there was a really lot of like beginning new feelings of love, but still that ending love, the ones that you grow. You know, in the beginning you feel that kind of love that's just exciting and it's new and you're just a little infatuated, but then when I say ending type love, it's when it grows and deepens and it goes into the other, you know, the companionship type of love. And you guys were in that. So this was a really deep relationship, a really committed and deep relationship that you guys were in the past. Let me go ahead and get their current thoughts and feelings for you now. Temperance. Four of Coins. Coin toss. Three of Swords. Three of Cups. Convertible. I like you. So what I'm getting right now, and I hate to do say this, but I really see them being in this energy of living it up, partying out there, partying. I feel like there is this heartache and sorrow and depression, and there's a loss. There's feelings of loss and there's tears, but they're covering it up with this party girl, party boy thing. And there could be, there's a third party involved. That could have been what ended the relationship, like a love triangle, or now they have somebody else. And I'm also getting that there's like options. There's a lot of options that they have. And they are trying to make a choice, or that they did in this relationship. It's like this coin toss. Then they think about the pros and cons between their options. I don't know if it's one or two or maybe more. And it could be, and a third party doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic connection. It could be work, or maybe it's this party life, that they had to give that up to go back to a more committed life. Maybe they're out there having fun, but I do see other influences, connections in the romantic sense out there, or options that they're thinking about. Because it's like they have this depression, but they're holding it in really deep. And they're kind of living in that. They're just having fun, and they're wanting to date. They're liking this freedom. They're kind of just like going with the flow, going with the wind to see where it takes them. They're not really putting much thought in it, because they start to think, and they're going to start to think about this heartbreak and sorrow and loss that they have with you. So they're not trying to think about that. And they're doing a good job of covering up and not thinking about it. Yeah, and it's like they're trying to choose. So it's either choosing you, between you and another person, or they're choosing between you and your connection, or this fun life and being free and doing what they want. But I don't see this other person. I'm not picking up any kind of feelings, like deep feelings. I don't have the deep feelings and the love and the emotions. If it was a choice between that, it's just a choice because they have fun with this person. Yeah, so it's just, they're just kind of just out there. They're right now, and I'm sorry to say that, I'm bringing it, but I do say it as I see it. They're just out there living it up. And it's not because they don't care. I would do want you to know about that, because there is heartbreak and care and love for you. They're just masking it. That saying, drink to forget. And that's what I'm getting. They're just like drinking to forget you. Not that they are drinking, but that concept, whatever they're doing to mask. I also get they're being influenced by somebody else to be living like this. This other influence is leading them down this path, influencing them to be that way. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw some messages from their higher self, loving messages from their higher self to you. Then I'm going to draw some text messages that they send to you. Then we'll go back to the tarot and get the possible future, what could happen between the two of you. And then I'll get into their shadow messages if you want to stay for the ending of that one. But here's their loving messages. I just got to shuffle these up here. It wasn't you, it was me. I am to be blamed. I accept fault for this. I feel like there was some kind of interference, and it was either the party or another person, but they're influenced to make this dissolve. Life hasn't been too nice to me, and I took that out on you. I missed out on something so good. The next person you allow into your life is so lucky. I hope you will find forgiveness in your heart for me. All right, the next one is going to be some text messages they send to you right now, if they could. I do say if they could. Obviously, they can. But it could be unsent text messages or stuff they don't want to say. We need to talk, but not through text. I can't picture you as somebody else. They can, that kind of irks me, because they obviously can picture themselves with somebody else, but they don't want you to have you with anybody else. Oh, what did I just say a little bit ago? I wrote you texts but never sent them. When I was saying I was drawing them. I should have spent more time listening to you. And then the third deck. These are a mixture of loving messages and not so loving. I just had dropped half the deck. Can't read you half the deck. They need to, narrow this down for me here. You were the best thing in my life. I love you. Just being near you is intoxicating. And I want you. Yeah, and what could have happened for some of you here, I'm getting to, is that there was a third party, and that's what ended your connection, your marriage. There was a third party, and now they're just kind of letting that the third party influence them a little bit more, because you walked away from them. And this may be a one-off, but I am getting that for some of you. That is it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grit and see what's going to happen in the future here. We'll jump over to that. Magician. The World. Two of Wands. Six of Swords. Twin Flames. All right, so that makes a little sense how it went from one to the other. Looks like that you guys have a twin flame connection here. And then Grapes. Now, twin flames, usually what happens a lot of times is you guys come together and there's this really profound and powerful love. But because you're so connected and you're basically yin-yang, the other half of each other's soul, and when you get with each other, you start to see some of your flaws and it becomes overwhelming, and there has to be this like famous twin flame separation period where two people like part ways just so they can grow and fix those little inner demons that they have and the little inner shadow works that they have. They need the union forces them to confront these internal shadows, and in order to heal them, separation is needed. And don't ask me why. I'm not really a fan of this unrequited love type of situations. However, that's the universe's plan, you know, and I can't control the universe. Although, wouldn't that be nice? But unfortunately, being that everybody has to go, they have to step away and learn. It took me a long time throughout my younger years and early adulthood, and I'm like, wow, if this person's walking away, then they obviously don't love you. And, you know, I didn't want to see the bigger picture, and I thought, you know, if it's love, it has to be. But throughout the years and learning and growing and just becoming more aware, I came to that realization that sometimes people they have to take a step back and they have to remove themselves to grow more. And it's through adversity that we do grow, if everything's going good. So if you got into this loving, happy relationship that you saw right at the beginning, they may not have grown in the way that they needed to. Their soul did. So that's something about a twin flame. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I do see this reconciliation. I feel that the magician's over here, and it's gonna change. Like, something's gonna happen. There's gonna be some magic done, you know, just kind of change who they are. They are going to learn and grow through this, and their spiritual team is over here helping them too. And they're going to have the success and achievement of this change, of this growing, of learning the things that they did wrong. And I am seeing them just reassessing everything that happened and trying to make adjustments in their life and becoming a better person and growing. And I also feel this also helps them too in a monetary way with their career and goals and objectives. They start growing in that, and it makes them a better person in that. It makes them a better person overall in general. So they are going to be learning these lessons during this separation. That energy that they are in currently was not the best. To, you know, tell you the truth and be upfront and honest, but I do see them growing through that and learning and becoming better. And I'm getting here that they're going to overcome the hardships in this connection, and the conflicts that you are having now are going to be resolved, and you guys are going to come to more of a restorative place and peace and just becoming stable. Now, if that means that you guys decide to get back together or just become friends, but I just see that you guys are going to be making amends with each other and working it out. And I am being shown them growing, more in their life path for this too. But they will be wanting to try to make a reconciliation with you. Okay, now here's the point where I'm going to go into these no contact shadow messages, which can be triggering for some. And if you want to, I'm not going to be offended if you want to step away at this time. But if you want to hear the blunt, honest truths about some of them aren't so bad, but some of them can be pretty triggering. So if you are leaving me now and you felt this resonated, you want to subscribe to my channel, hit that bell button so you can be notified. Try to get videos out at least once a week, unless something else, life happens. Other than that, like, comment, share, drop me a line on any kind of videos you'd like to see. And for those that are staying, let's jump into it. I feel I can breathe again after you left my life. I felt trapped. And I feel like one of that is that party person energy that they're in, the freedom that they're in. They just felt, I think maybe, although they did love you and the connection, maybe they just kind of jumped in a little bit before they were totally ready. They thought they weren't, and then they acted up. I am aware of my mistakes, but I'd rather play victim to gain pity from others. So right there, now they're in that energy. Like I said, they're still in that under the influence, third-party energy, living it up, being free. So they're playing the victim role right now. They do know the mistakes they made. They do know what they've done wrong, but they're just not owning up to it yet. They will be. We already looked at the future cards, so they will. And right here, it says, I have karmic debts that need to be paid before I come back to you. So they're still working through that. And this is part of those karmic debts, things they're learning. The things that they're learning right now is what they're going through. I will continue to sabotage this connection because I do not learn from my mistakes. Currently, that is definitely current energy, because what I'm picking up in the future once they get through this is not. But right now, if you guys were to reconcile right now, right at this time, it's going to be like a history repeats itself. They need to get through that, and I feel like that's going to be a while. And I'm getting many months or years in there. It's nothing that's going to happen soon. They need to like get through this, what they're going through. I'm distracting myself to avoid thinking about you. And I did say that in the current energy, there's a lot of grief and sadness and things, but they're hiding it. They're shoving it so far down there. But it's going to explode. You can't just shove it away and lock it away when it's trying to get out. I am running because I cannot face my own mess. The truth hurts. Yeah, they know what they did wrong. I said there was other involvements. There's other involvements there. And they don't want to face it. They don't want to own up to it because then it would be admitting that they're wrong. Like as I was just saying before I pulled this card, I prefer to think of you in a negative way to admit you're right. So they're not facing what they did. And again, another confirmation of the current energy they are in. I keep dabbling into unhealthy addictions to deal with my pain. They're hiding that pain away, and they're covering it up with this party and this party mentality. You know, and I have nothing wrong with that. I go out and have fun myself, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that life, but when it's kind of consuming you, that's when it's a problem, and you're not dealing with your deeper feelings and emotions. It's all right to go out, have fun, but it's just too much, and they're doing it in an unhealthy way to not deal with this pain. So that is what I have for you today. Thank you for connecting. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell button, and love and light to you.